Good morning. My name is Kyle Verge. I'm here with ACENET, or the Appalachian Center for Economic Networks, located here in Athens, Ohio. And today we're going to be talking about Google Business, or how to alter the info page on your Google Business site. Now, if you weren't here with me last time, you don't know that I created a fake business so that I could walk you through this process of verifying and then altering your business. So you'll see here that Google did, in fact, send me a postcard associated with my fake business called Meow Meow Business, and they sent it straight to my address, and everything's ready to go. I found that inside this postcard, there were directions about how to verify your business, and it's pretty simple. You just follow those directions, enter the code, click verify, and you're ready to go. So you can see after I clicked verify, it let me know that the email that the business was associated with is now authorized to manage Meow Meow Business on Google. Now you can change this authorization later to add more people or to even remove yourself if you want to, but we won't cover that right now. It's just something to know for the future. So before we verified, we found out that according to Google, your edits won't appear until you verify your business. So now that we've verified, we should no longer see this at the top. We should in fact just see a regular old home screen where we can make edits, and they are then reviewed by Google, and sometimes that takes up to 3 days, but you can then edit them and they'll appear on the web for your potential customers to see. Alright, so this is what the info page looks like. If you don't know how to get to the info page, super simple. All you do is click on this little tab right here. When you go to your main business site, just home, Google/business, and sign in, you'll notice that it always starts off at home. And what we're doing today is we're clicking on the info tab. Now the info tab has lots of stuff in it, and we're going to go over some of that right now. Now when I'm going through these slides, I'm basically starting at the top and I'm moving down. So if you're not sure which edit that I'm on, you can just basically move down one and see where I'm at. So for this one here, it allows me to edit my business page, or my business name, excuse me. I could do it here if, let's say, I decided between the time that I sent that in and now that I wanted to put a third meow inside my title, so I could be Meow 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 Business, or maybe just Meow Business. But the point is that you can change it, and that's totally okay. Oh yeah, and you'll notice here that they're telling you that edits may be reviewed for quality and can take up to 3 days to be published. So you might not see some of the results immediately, but you will see them down along, so long as they are, quality and appropriate. So the next thing that we'll see is expanding our description, and we can do that. It's right below the title. It's changing a category. So if you put in something like pet supply store or whatever your general business was last time, but you're also offering additional services that you didn't add then, now's your chance to put those in. So let's say I also wanted to be a consultant for either cats or cat owners. I can then just place that here in the additional categories. It's offering me different ones, different types of consultants I might be able to designate myself as. I'm definitely not any of those, so I'm just going to put general consultant right now, and maybe I'll change that again down the line. But that's where you change the categories. Next thing you can change is your service area. So if you remember from last time, I'm located in Athens, Ohio, and I might want to expand my service area to Logan, which is a small town located, I don't know, about a half hour from here. And you can see when I start to type in Logan, it brings up several different things. It brings up a township in New Jersey. It brings up another city in West Virginia. a specific square in the city of Chicago, and then the Logan, Ohio, the one I was looking for. Now, it's important to notice these other ones because you can designate neighborhoods, you can designate townships, you can designate counties as all part of your service area. So this is a place where you can either select specific towns, neighborhoods, and general service areas. Pretty important. So your hours, this is sort of the category that everybody keeps asking about, and it's how do you edit your hours and how do you make them consistent, that type of thing. Well, here's a chance. You'll notice that Google is allowing you to do a lot of interesting things with your hours. I've, for example, filled them out for when my cat was awake. So you see that my cat is generally awake from 4:30 a.m. to 9 a.m., and then again from 1:30 until 2:30, and then finally from 4 to 10. So if your business, for example, is open for brunch and then you close for a couple of hours and they're open again for dinner, this is a good opportunity for you to designate that rather than just say 11 to 5 or 11 to 10 or whatever it is that you have. You can also designate that you'll be open for 24 hours if that's the type of business that you're running. And then you can also indicate which days you're just closed in general. If you need a day off, you decide, I'm always going to take Tuesdays for me. There, you can just indicate it there. Now below that category, the hours, you'll notice that there is a separate section called More Hours. Now this is so that you can designate a specific activity that you're doing at your business that you might want people to understand as sort of separate from your additional hours. So let's say, for example, that I wanted to do drive-through, but I didn't want to do it all the time. I just wanted to offer that service when I had the employees necessary. So I can indicate that I want to edit my drive-through hours and click apply. And then you'll notice that you can do very similar things as you could do with your regular hours. So you can indicate which days that's open, you can indicate from what hours that's open, and again you can add extra hours. I would tell you though, the more hours you add, the more confusing it's going to be. So if you're open from 5 to 6 but not from 6 to 8 and then again from 8 to 10, that might be a little confusing to people and it might be off-putting. So I would say be careful about putting too much information here or maybe make some decisions about when you can really commit to being at the office or what hours you're available. But again, pretty easy, and you can edit this as many times as you want. The next thing down the line is asking you for a profile short name. Now I think this was more important when Google was doing things like Google Plus or had Google Sites or that kind of thing where there was some sort of social media aspect attached to it. Now I think you could probably still use these for tagging people in things like reviews or asking questions online, things that use Google services in general. So if you want a new handle, if you want different ways to people to refer to you on various Google sites, then you can add that here. You'll notice that there are some specifications for your handle, so you can't put spaces in it. You can see that the suggestion that it's giving me is using hyphens. When I try to put something like this in, it kicks back an error and it says, must be at least 5 characters or can't include a space. So just for the sake of brevity, I went with the suggestion that Google gave me and made that my short name, although it's just as long as my regular name. The next section is pretty important. This is a powerful tool. So let's say, remember at the beginning when we were looking at pet supply store and I was adding a different category about consultants? Well, here you can add custom services. So if you don't see exactly what you do in your store appearing in that list that Google auto-populates, you can create your own. So there was no option for custom cat toy creation, so I made my own, and I'm going to walk you through some of the steps that it has there, and it's pretty simple. So this is what it looks like when you decide to create a custom service. So let's say I was doing a certain type of massage. I could then tell people generally what it might cost, and so I'm suggesting here that my custom cat toy creation will cost at minimum $50. This is of course absurd. Nobody's going to pay that much for what I'm supplying, and I don't want to lead people on by suggesting otherwise. So you can see that I edited my service description. I say customize your own twist tie and yarn made from the cheapest yarn at Joann Offers and from the twist ties found locally on the discount bread bin at Kroger. And then I go on to say that I will hand make these. This is obviously supposed to be tongue-in-cheek, but the point is here is that you have about 300 characters to say what you want to about that service, and this is a really great way to sort of highlight what you think is best about your company. If it allows you to put it in your own words too, which is even more powerful. All right, the next thing that we're going to take a look at, which is found right below those services, is the attributes. Now, these attributes go on for a minute. You can see that there's a little scroll bar here, but it's your option to add things that people and your customers or your clients might find intriguing. So let's say you're woman-led and you're creating something that sort of appeals to people who find that value particularly important. So you might want to highlight that on your website. Same thing with veteran-led. And you can also indicate here too whether or not you're ADA compliant, or if you have wheelchair accessible elevator, all your accessibilities. You can go through amenities. There's various things that you can do here, including like what credit cards you accept, but you can go through that list pretty easily. And there's of course always links here about what these do exactly. But you could definitely play around there and try to indicate what you're most comfortable with. Alright, so we've gone through some of the basics on the info page. We are going to be spending a little bit more time reviewing those next time, and then looking into different ways that we can specialize our content, either through products and services or various other means, photography, using a logo, lots of different things. But if you have any questions, you can always contact us through acenetworks.org, or you can email info@acenetworks.org with specific questions. That email address goes specifically to me, so I'll be able to answer any questions you have there. You can, of course, find us at Facebook, Instagram, or you just give us a call, and you see the phone number right there. So thanks for joining us.